All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 12. That is right, week number 12 of your 7413 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. JSK Alston, and what we are going to do today is a quick state of the course update, and then I am going to show you a resource called Learning Express Library, and I'm going to tell you why Learning Express Library is something that you want to have in your toolkit, as well as when you would likely use Learning Express Library. Now again, and as always, when I am doing these sorts of things and check-in videos for you in this reference class, these are not tutorials to teach you how to use the database. Again, these are me basically showing you the database, introducing you to it, letting you know a few features, and then telling you, yes, if you want to learn actually how to use the database expertly, you need to practice it on your own. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into that state of the course update, and there are some things that I do want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into this. First things first, let's just look at what's coming up. So let's X out a few of these things here. Okay. So, and you don't see your LibGuide here, but LibGuide is also due on November the 17th. So we already had our October the 29th sync session. That went well, in my opinion. I was very pleased with how you all interacted with Jamie, our new presenter. And again, I thought it went well. I'm glad you all attended. We did end up having almost perfect attendance, and then the one person that was not present was actually somebody who had a good reason to not be present. So everything was all good. I'm very happy with the attendance and happy with how you all interacted with Jamie. I do want to say that I realize I have not gotten her contact information into the class yet. I will put that in an announcement at some point this week, and I apologize. Just been a lot when you have, especially during the Halloween time, when you have a little kiddo who is 4, yes, that does also cause a little bit of distraction. So that's what's going on with that. But yes, you all did great at last week's sync session. Please do not forget that on November the 17th, which is, I'm recording this on November the 3rd. So exactly 2 weeks from when I'm recording this, you will have both your LibGuide due and your discussion prompt number 6 due. All right, so again, remember those things are going to be coming due on November the 17th. That is exactly 2 weeks away from when I'm recording this. If you're watching this later in the week, then just know you have a little bit over a week to finish those things. And also keep working on your semester-long projects, okay? Now, I'm a little less than halfway through as far as grading your Wikipedia edit assignments, but I've looked at more of them than I have graded, and I'm going to revisit this. This is something that I've said, and I'm a little just frankly thrown off that by what I've seen with some of the Wikipedia edit assignments. But and I'm not saying this to be a hard ass. I know that what I'm about to say is probably gonna have some of you all like, goodness, why are you attacking us? But there is a such thing as tough love, and believe me, I probably had one of the roughest K-12 experiences of anybody in here. I know that we're all in college, but let me just say this. My K-12 teachers spoke to me any way they pleased, and that is usually the case with Black students. So when I'm about to tell you all what I'm about to tell you all, you might find it harsh, but at the same time, please know that I'm saying this is tough love, and I'm saying it because I want you all to do better. And then also please know that how I'm speaking to you all as adults is actually pretty soft. I had elementary school teachers who spoke to me way harder than I'm about to speak to you all now. But I do need to say something. So, again, I have looked at most of the Wikipedia edit assignments, but a lot of them I just skipped over grading, and I will come back and grade them later because I was actually in a mood where I wanted to, as I was grading throughout the last few days, I was actually just in kind of a mood where I wanted to grade the papers of the people who did things right first before I started having to go in and start deducting a bunch of points from people who did not do what they were supposed to do. Here's what I need you all to realize, okay? So I'm going to go back into this week 3 check-in video announcement, and I'm going to go back to this. This is graduate school, so as I speak about using a citation style, let me add this. If you have to use a citation style, that means cite sources. So you will also lose points if you do not cite sources and therefore do not use a citation style. I realized that this was what I was talking about before the virtual reference assignment, but please pay attention to the wording. If you have to use a citation style, it means cite sources. Now, the assignment prompt, Wikipedia edit assignment. You have to use a citation style, and I know I've said this several times. You have to use a citation style. It is there. It is in the rubric. It is right there. So that means cite sources. There are a lot of you who did not cite sources in the Wikipedia edit assignment, and I don't know where that's coming from, because a lot of you who didn't cite sources in the Wikipedia edit assignment did cite sources in the virtual reference assignment. Listen, if a prompt says you have to use a citation style, that means cite. And we are in graduate school. So yes, you should be building on the knowledge and the data and the theory, etc., opinions, whatever, incorporating that, taking a scholarly approach, because we are in graduate school. There were a lot of papers that did not cite sources. If somebody tells you to use a citation style, that is an indication to cite sources, and there is an announcement explaining that in this class already, and you all are required per the syllabus to read the announcements. So please know that yes, a lot of you are going to lose points because you did not do any citing with the Wikipedia edit assignment. Even some of you who did do citation and cite with the virtual reference assignment. I don't know what happened here. I believe I said in the check-in video I would be checking for APA usage in those two assignments specifically. So I'm not sure why so many of you did not cite sources with your Wikipedia edit assignment, but your grade is going to reflect that. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, having said that, there are no other assignments in the class this semester where you have to use a citation style to cite sources. So I don't check, you don't have to cite anything within your LibGuide. You just put the LibGuide together, and then when it comes to your semester-long projects, yes, you have to generate a little citation, but you're actually, for some questions, not for all questions, listen to me carefully on this too. For the semester-long project, if the question does not ask you for a citation, then you don't have to do it. Basically, with the basically with the semester-long project, you follow the directions of the question. So give what the question asks you for. And if you're going to be a reference librarian, you have to listen carefully to what your patrons are asking. So, and this isn't something that is necessarily born from any behavior of you all, so I don't want you all to think that, but I have actually dealt with this in previous iterations of this course, where people will look at the semester-long project, and it's fine to ask questions. In fact, I want you all to ask questions so that you get things right. But there have been times when I've said to people, hey, when I've said to the classes, hey, excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. So there have been occasions where I've said to the class, all you have to do is give what the question asks you for. And then people will still kind of like second guess me, and they're like, well, the question didn't answer this, but do we still have to do this? Being a reference librarian means listening. So look at the question, give what the question asks for, and that's all you need to do. Now, when you're on the reference desk, yes, you do kind of ask further questions to draw information out of people, and you do try to follow up, and you do, after you've completed the reference interaction, you do also ask, hey, is there anything else? And just make sure that you've completely answered their question. Ask if you've answered their question, if they have anything else. So do all those things, yes. And this is going to become more clear as you get more experience on a reference desk. There are going to be a lot of times also where you just need to listen to the patron and then answer the question that they're asking. That's going to happen too. And so yes, with the semester-long project, read the question that's asked, give the information the question asked for. Okay. All right. So, that's pretty much all that. Again, all you have left now are your LibGuides, 2 discussion board prompts, one due November 17th, the other due in December, and then also your semester-long project. So you're on the home stretch now, but I know that, finishing up the LibGuide is probably something you're putting a lot of effort in, okay? So, yeah. go ahead and keep working on that. And that is pretty much it for the state of the course update. So now let's, we'll probably talk about another 15 more minutes. Let's go ahead and get into Learning Express Library. All right, so let's talk about Learning Express Library, and this is one that you don't have to call your public library for, even though most public libraries and most K-12 libraries do have this if they have an EBSCO package, and most academic libraries do as well. So this is something that you're going to find all over the range. But because this is something that Mizzou offers, I'm going to go ahead and access it through Mizzou. Okay. Well, let me pause while that's going on. All right, so here's one thing that I want you all to realize is that when you are, especially working in a public library, there are certain materials that are just not going to come back. And this is one of those, they didn't teach us this in library school, things that I'm teaching you all in library school. Now, again, there are hundreds of things that people complain, oh, they didn't teach us that in library school. And what I want to say about that is, and I probably said this before, but I'm going to keep on harping on it. Librarianship is very interdisciplinary, and we only have you all for 39 to 40 credits. So we cannot teach you all everything because that would take more than a 2-year full-time program. That would take a 10-year full-time program, okay? So you're going to be learning about librarianship throughout your librarian career, and there are going to be things that you pick up on that you did not learn in library school. But this is going to be one of those things that you actually did learn in library school because you had Dr. Jace. You're welcome. So when it comes to Learning Express Library, there are certain types of materials that just don't come back to public libraries a lot of times. And those are going to be your testing materials a lot of times. So your GRE, your GED, your SAT, your ACT, all of that stuff, those testing things for college prep and that sort of thing. People check that out and it doesn't come back. So you have to have other resources to help your patrons who need resources on the SAT and some other things. You need some help with serving those patrons, okay? And so how do you go about that? Well, Learning Express Library, when those books are not coming back, Learning Express Library helps you along the way, and I'm going to show you how. So here is how. There are multiple categories here that you're going to see. So this is your landing page for Learning Express Library, and when you go to this landing page, first of all, this is new and I like it. So you have the public library, college library, and high school library. That is actually really cool. So one thing that I noticed when I was actually doing this video for my spring 2024 class was that there was some stuff that was missing. And so it looks like what they're doing is there's some stuff that's missing, and then there's some stuff that's been replaced and reorganized, and that is perfectly fine. So actually what I'm going to do then is go into the popular software tools, because they had removed a bunch of stuff out of here. Okay, and I see that at least some of it is back, so that's cool. Okay. All right, so some of this Microsoft stuff that was removed is now back. But I don't see, they also have some Adobe stuff going on, or maybe it's, okay. Okay. So again, they've rearranged some things, all right? So you got Adobe there all by itself, and then you've also got the Microsoft Suite here. And I don't think that Excel 2021 was even there in the spring, so it looks like they might have even added some stuff. So this has me very excited, but let me go back home. So I was talking about testing books, and then I kind of got us off subject, but again, so if you have people and they come in, I'm going to go to the college admissions test preparation. If you have some people come in and they are looking for things related to SAT prep or AP exam prep or ACT or even GRE and GED, but those are not going to be for college. Those would be, well, GRE is going to be for graduate school, but you're actually going to have to find that through here, and we'll do that in a minute. But again, so let's just use the SAT as the example, because that's the test that a lot of these, well, that's the main test that a lot of these students are taking. So if you got a student that needs to take the SAT, what you can do is you can, but then let's say you had a hypothetical where you had a student that had to take the SAT, but you went to find the SAT books and all of the SAT books were gone. So what do you do in that case? Well, because people weren't bringing them back. Well, what you got is you got this. These are resources to prepare for your SAT, and we've got some sort of note here too. Exciting news, the SAT is going all digital in March 2024 with some significant changes. whether you're preparing for the current version and getting ready. Okay. All right, cool. All right, that's great. So, yeah. So if you were trying to prepare for the SAT, or you had somebody who was trying to prepare for the SAT and they didn't have a book that you could refer them to at the library, here's what you could do. You could come here, and so I see they've also shrunk a lot of this down. So there were a lot more options related to when you clicked SAT. There were a lot more options, and it looks like what they've kind of done is consolidated this so that you're not just having to go all over the place to find different things. So yes, if you had somebody who was coming in to prepare for the SAT, you didn't have an SAT book, but you could say, hey, this can help you with strategies for, you got strategies here for the math, and then you've got strategies for reading and writing. And then what you would do is you can actually register for free. All right, so you register for this for free because it's through your library. There's no subscription charge or anything like that. And you're not going to see me actually go into a test, and that's cool because we don't, or into a resource, and that's cool because we don't have that time anyway in this video. But what I'm going to say is, if you were to register, then you'd be able to take all of these. So you've got the math prep with linear equations, linear functions, percentages, blah, 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 all the various things, geometry, algebra, you have practice quizzes and things like that. You see the practice quizzes there. So these are useful resources for your people who are coming in for help with these. There's also a practice test that you can take right here. Actually, there are multiple practice tests, reading and writing and maths. They're separated that way. And then also, unfortunately, I don't see an ebook for the whole SAT as far as resources, but there is a math practice SAT ebook that you would be able to access. So in lieu of having an actual SAT prep book, this is something that you can refer your patrons to, and then they can use the test prep that way. Now, I will say, again, just for the sake of time, if you want to actually, again, learn this resource, it's up to you to devote some time to it, explore it, that sort of thing. But what I will say is that you're going to have similar stuff to that with the ACT. Actually, see, the SAT used to look more like this, where you have like these breakdowns and preparation tutorials and everything. So I see they still have that going on with the ACT, but with the SAT, it looks like they've kind of consolidated a little bit. And then you will have similar things with PSAT. And then when it comes to AP exams, that's a whole different sort of thing. But you do have, again, ebooks for AP exam preparation, and you've also got practice exams, and probably you definitely have a video for that. You might have videos or tutorials for these various other things. Again, if you want to learn more, it is up to you to kind of explore. Let's go back home and look at some other stuff. Okay, so we've talked about college prep testing, and so let's actually try to dive in to see some of the other things that you will find in here. Now, again, I did mention the GED earlier, so there it is. That's the high school equivalency center, so you would go to a different center for that. But if you had people who were preparing for the GED, same kind of thing. GED books don't come back a lot of times either. So if people need to prepare for the GED, if they are able to access a computer, you can go to the high school equivalency center, and they've got tutorials, micro lessons, videos, flashcards, games, cool, all sorts of stuff to help with the GED as well. Okay, so I hope that you see now that this is something that can be absolutely useful. Let's go to, there are a few more of these that I just want to kind of take a peek into very quickly, so again you will see what is going on. When it comes to 4th through 8th grade educator resources. So these are things that I know it says educator resources as if it is for the teachers, but parents can actually use this stuff too. So this can be helpful if you're a parent trying to work with your students on their, trying to help them with their homework, trying to help them build their skills and that sort of thing. You do have, again, you have the elementary and the middle school, the elementary and the middle school educator resources, and really they start with like 4th grade, so you're not going to have the little kids, but once you get to the 4th grade level, 5th grade level, mathematics and English skills improvements here. You don't have the sciences or the social studies here at the elementary school level, but I know they're at the high school level. I think they're at the middle school level too, and I'm wrong, so I apologize for that. I know they're at the high school level though, but you'll see, okay, math improvement, geometry, algebra, blah, blah, blah. And then high school entrance exams, which I didn't even know that was really a thing. Oh, you do have social studies here. Okay. So I don't see science, but I do see social studies. American history, that's good to know. So you have those resources, and then we'll go home again when you have high school. And you'll see this in both the public library and the high school library things. So high school success skills, you can come here. You got the math and science skills, you got English skills, you can go into those. And then I also think that there are oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, so I think this is new too. As far as if you're going to high school skills, study skills, keyboarding skills. Ah, so okay, so they've got keyboarding tutorials. Either that's new or I just hadn't accessed it before, but that's a pretty neat touch. So you've got that. Again, classroom skills, life skills, now the basics of credit, my people. They have rearranged this, and they have rearranged this in a positive way. If this stuff had already been there, I didn't even know this stuff was there. But they have reorganized this, and it's easier to find stuff. Woohoo! All right, so the basics of credit, yes, this is great for teenagers to know how to manage money, the basics of debt, healthy habits. Oh my goodness, yes, they have really organized this and improved it that way. Okay, so you've got that. Again, if this is probably pretty self-explanatory, I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, when students need extra help with math and science and that sort of thing, and I know this says science, I hope that if I click this, it'll go into different types of science. Yes, it does. All right, biology, chemistry, and physics. Great. All right, so you've got those things. Okay, let's go back over to public library though. And so also things that you have for public library. This will be now a 30-minute video. I hope you sped it up. But another thing that you want to look at this for, again, let's go back into computer skills because again, this is pretty, you will have patrons actually in the public library who don't even know how to use the internet or don't know how to use a computer. So you have to get them started somewhere. And so this is useful to get them started, improving your keyboarding and typing skills. Thankfully, I took a whole class of that in high school, but not everybody has that luxury. So if somebody needs to learn how to keyboard, this is something that they can use. And then popular software, this is just so great. I'm glad that it's back because, again, it was gone. But you've got Excel 2021. Let me say this. Few people know how to use Excel that well, and I'm one of those few. I mean, I'm one of those many people who doesn't. Now, there are a few who do. Denise Atkins, if you've had her, she is actually very, very good at Excel, but I am awful at it. So if you want to, but this is good. I did one of these tutorials for the beginner years ago for the 2007 version. I did that at the beginner level. I never went to the intermediate or advanced level, but I think, actually, let me click in here. What's new in Excel 2021. Okay, so that's not necessarily a great one. Let's go into, okay. So this is better. I don't know. They could probably do more with the 2021 than they have, and hopefully they will add some stuff. You'll see course times down here too. So this one should take you about an hour and 30 minutes to complete. And with me, it would probably take about 2 hours and 30 minutes because, you know. But yes, so you got the basic and the intermediate here, and I think you have that for the rest of them. Yeah, basic, intermediate, advanced. So you might want to go to 2019 and see, and even 2016, and hopefully some of the features will be the same because it looks like with 2021, all they've done is really said what's new. Okay, but that is, again, something that you want to be aware of. And then so that can be helpful if you have people who are looking to, and especially if they want to enhance their Excel skills. And I would even say you might not have patrons that come in wanting to enhance their Excel skills, but like one thing that I would see when I was on Facebook, I would see all the time is people would get on Facebook and they would ask, okay, how do I this? How do I that? How do I learn Excel? And if you have somebody say, how do I learn Excel? You say, hey, go to your local library and learn about Learning Express Library. They have Excel tutorials in there, and they are pretty good. They go at your pace, and they don't advance until you actually do what the thing is telling you to do. So it's pretty cool. All right, and then I think those are older Adobe tools, but they're still in there. So as far as Adobe graphics and illustration, yes, you've got Photoshop and Illustrator CS6. I don't know when that came out, but I'm guessing it's going to be a long time ago. Hopefully they will add new resources there at some point soon, okay? So that is that. This is adult core skills. That's one of the other things I wanted to look at. Yeah, I wanted to skip the writing, reading, all of that stuff. But this, all right, so this is something that you will also possibly have some patrons that want to take advantage of, is that you do have some preparations for becoming a U.S. citizen. And so this can be useful for a lot of people who are trying to become citizens, a lot of migrant people who are trying to become citizens. The public library becomes their friend. And the reason the public library becomes their friend is because of things like that. We do have the resources that can help people with their journey to citizenship and their journey to gainful employment once they become citizens. So keep that in mind. Resume and cover letter builders, I've never actually used that because, quite frankly, every library that I've ever been in that was not an elementary school library had cover letter and resume stuff. So I never needed to use that because we actually always did have those books. Now I'm kind of curious as far as what's in the college library one. Placement tests. Maybe this is where the GRE, grad school admissions. See, they have reorganized this and it's so much better. I used to have to go up here every single time I was displaying this and type in GRE and then see whatever came up. Now they've got GRE. Very easy to find right here. I love this redesign. It is so much better. Okay. Practice tests, tutorials, ebooks. Yep. So, yes, I can probably leave it right there because I think you get the gist of it now. So, especially for those who, nobody should be buying books. Like that's one thing. I'll just say a very quick, funny anecdote. This was about 10 years ago, and again, I was on Facebook at the time. So I had a friend from high school, and I saw that he had put up he was trying to go to grad school, and he was talking about, yeah, so I need some resources as far as GRE materials. Are there any GRE books that somebody would sell me? And then somebody else responded, well, there is this place that actually loans out books, so you might not have to buy your GRE practice book. And that's when I came in. And again, I told them both, that person and my friend, about this particular resource. So, yes, libraries should have the various resources, the various books that people want, but they don't always, okay? It's just impossible for them to always have these testing books and these sorts of things. So when they don't actually have the books in stock because other people have checked them out or stolen them even and never brought them back, this is a resource that you have at your disposal. Please do not forget about this. In fact, please do learn about what is actually offered here so that when you have people who have tests. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I did forget one important piece. Yes, I forgot about careers. Yeah, I didn't talk about the careers. So there's also preps for various career tests in various states. And those include teaching tests, and there's a Missouri-specific teaching test. But you have military, law enforcement, nursing, cosmetology, all of those things as well. So people who are preparing for these types of tests as well, again, this is a resource for them. So don't forget that either. The NCLEP and all this stuff. The exams that teachers and nurses and everybody has to take, real estate exam, you see that in the, oh, you don't see that because that's on my screen but not yours. Let me scroll up. But yes, so you'll see real estate, teaching, hospitality, cosmetology, all of these various things. You have the testing preps for those as well, so please do not forget those. Okay, so that should be it for me. I am Dr. Jace, and a lot of these testing books do not come back, so always remember Learning Express Library just in case. Just in case I did it. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on the discussion boards as well. And some of you will be getting your grades back from me on your Wikipedia edit throughout the week. All right, talk to you soon.